like we do have a GM. GM Superior King. Maybe he's doing the same challenge. Or he's not a real GM. Either way. Alright, we're going to go with... let's go with a funky, fun opening. Let's go with B3. I think it's called the Larson opening. Bishop to B2. Yeah, 3-2, yep. And we're going to go with C4. Have a little fun with the GM here. We're taking. The queen takes. We'll play knight C3, kicking his queen around a bit. GM confirmed, yep. Now we're going to play G3 ourselves, I think. Yeah, so we're just playing G3 ourselves. Bishop G2. D3. Knight F3. Get castled. He has a little bit of extra space in the center due to his E5 pawn, but my pieces are also developed perfectly fine. I'm going to play knight D2 to C4 pretty soon. Knight D2 to C4 with the next few moves. Nim's a Larson attack. It's Magnus. Ooh, that'd be tough. Alright, we're going to go knight C4. Yeah, we're still going to go knight C4. Poke this bishop a bit. See what he does. Okay, bishop c5. Let's go rook to c1. Lining up against that bishop, maybe. A6. Okay, he wants to retreat the bishop all the way, I assume, is the idea. I think knight e4 is fine here. Trading off a pair of knights. Take back with the bishop. Next, we might play e3 and then d4 at some point to grab some space in the center. I do have 2 central pawns compared to his 1 central pawn, so that's usually a pretty common idea. Also, now we are threatening... We're now threatening bishop takes knight, and then knight takes e5. So he has to guard this guy a little bit. He has to be a little bit aware of this lineup. So f6 is f6 or bishop d6 are probably his 2 best moves here. Hey man, first time catching the stream. Great stuff. Keep it up. Oh, thanks a lot. I'm Forever. Hope you're enjoying it. Alright, we're going to play rook e1. Don't think there's any problems with that. There was an idea of a knight sack on e5. Oh, knight takes e5 followed by d4 could have been possible. Yeah, that could have been possible. I think he takes with the queen, though, and then d4 he takes back. But it could be a potential idea. What was my best win in tournament conditions, Maddie? I've beaten a Grandmaster over the board. It's probably the best win. I don't think it can get much higher than that. So I've beaten a Grandmaster over the board once. I've drawn a couple other ones. That's my best individual win. My best tournament win, probably a bit different from that. Okay, let's see. Bishop d4. I don't think there's a problem with taking. I could take, he does knight takes, and I pick up the b7 pawn. That should be fine. Or if he does pawn takes back, then there's maybe some different ideas. That should be okay. I don't see the downside. I could have also played bishop a3, which would have been okay too. Can you say the GM who beat you, who you beat his name? His name is Holden Hernandez, I think is the name. Holden Hernandez. He was like 25 or 2600 USCF at that point. I think 2600. The downside of living in Florida, which is where I live, there's only like 1 or 2 GMs in the state. So I really don't get a whole lot of experience against them, is the problem. Yeah, there's like Julio Becerra lives in Florida, Lars Bohansen lives in Florida. That's about it, honestly, for GMs in the state that I can think of. There might be one other that I'm forgetting about. Okay, we're just gonna play Queen D2. I like my bishop on E4. I don't really want to trade it off, though, just yet, because this bishop on H3 is a little bit... I have to be a little bit aware of it. So I'm going to play like Queen F4 next move, probably. most likely, is the idea. Oh, Ron Henley. Yep, he's also in 4. That's true. Ron Henley. I drew him once. I've drawn Ron Henley. He couldn't checkmate me with bishop and knight. It was actually that. We got into a bishop and knight endgame where he just had bishop and knight versus my king, and he couldn't find the checkmate, which was kind of funny for a GM not to be able to find that. I think we just play e3 here. It should be okay. Maybe. Queen f4 is actually not a bad idea either, even though it doubles my pawns up kind of weird. I think we're going to go for this. It looks weird, but I'm just going to exchange queens. I have a lot of pressure on his queen side, so a queen exchange is not a problem for me. You've seen them all play? Yep. 69 viewers. Good number. 68 now. So we have doubled pawns, which is true, but I'm going to play e3 pretty soon. Bishop takes is also an idea. Yeah, so we're just playing e3. There is an increment, so I'm not too worried about losing on time or anything like that. The threat now is to take the knight and then take the pawn, probably. If he takes, I'll take back with my pawn, and I'll undouble my pawns. I wasted my time learning bishop and knight checkmate. Yeah, you really don't need to know it at that point. It doesn't happen. I've had it happen to me like once in my life, honestly, where I would have needed to know it. Only like once, though. We're going to play a3, keep the knight off b4. He could play f5 here. Okay. He takes. I'm going to play knight e5 next move. My knight on e5, very nice piece. His bishop on h3 is actually kind of trapped now. So now we're going to play king f2 and go to go to g3. Trap this bishop, probably. We could also just play rook g1. He has to play like g4 to not lose a pawn. Okay, so I guess we're just picking up a free pawn. Take back. Rook h5 now is a threat. Rook h5 fork. Okay. I think we can just pick up another pawn. I'll take there. I'm going to keep the d pawn defended, but I'm going to play rook takes g4 next move. Or we could exchange, and I'll go after the pawn this way. This is now just a basic king and pawn, winning king and pawn endgame. e4. I'm up 2 pawns. So just advancing the pawns. He can't stop both of these pawns here. Just can't do it. And he resigns. Okay. I just wanted to learn it as I saw a string of players do it in Blitz. I thought it was so cool. Yeah, it's good to know, but you don't necessarily need to know it. Honestly, I'm like a FIDE master, and I know how to do it, but like I hardly ever need it. So it's one of those things that's good to know, but you don't necessarily see in your own games often. Do I have a job, or is chess my full-time profession? I teach chess as my main full-time job, pretty much. I'm teaching private lessons, teaching with the chess.com university. Writing articles occasionally, doing videos and stuff like that. So chess is my full-time job, plus the occasional, tournament score, doing good in a tournament or something like that. Is it possible to have a job and be a titled chess player? You mean like if I had a normal job? I've had normal jobs, like working at a vitamin store. I've done actually a lot of different stuff. Working at a vitamin store, I was a retirement insurance salesman at one point. I've done quite a lot of things, but right now chess is the full-time job. Okay, so we're just doing the analysis here. b3, e5. Both sides play the opening pretty well. Not too much to say, just kind of normal development stuff. Black has a little bit better control of the center, but white has, his position's also perfectly fine. Bishop d4. I'm not a humongous fan of this move. He should just centralize his pieces. That should be fine for him. Bishop d4, though, we exchange queen d2. Even the exchange here, it's really not so bad for him. I think his first big mistake is f5, because after this exchange, my knight turns into a monster. He should just play, I don't know. Rook e7. Rook e7, and then get this bishop back in the game. This bishop was really out of the game for quite a while, as we saw. Ends up costing him a bit of material. Pick up the g-pawn, pick up another pawn. Once we're up 2 pawns, this is pretty easy to win. Not too much to say here. Really not a whole lot to say. He doesn't develop... He needs to centralize his rook before doing a whole lot else. He should just play rook here. Then maybe I do, I don't know, queen c2 or something. f5, kick me backwards. Well, I guess I take here and then pick up the pawn. Maybe this bishop d6 is better. Not the easiest position for black to play. There's no... I guess he could go here as well. Attack f2. I play e3 and then just centralize. He's got different options, but I feel like white's position at the end of the day is still a bit better, kind of no matter what happens here. What's my goal in chess? American champion? That'd be cool.